about the anarchist. Well, it's an installation that I did in different places and in totally different formats too. And basically, it's this woman, the anarchist, is a little woman dressed in red, and I use red yarn, and then I went through the space. I mean, she did it. Went through all the space like the threads are crossing in a totally without any order across, especially a corner could go to the ceiling on the floor, and it crosses a lot of spaces, and so it's a little a metaphor of kind of disorder, and at the same time there is a structure of it, no? That it's impossible not to have some kind of a structure, but the main impression has to be this of the anarchism, the, the impossibility of having one order, or not the impossibility, the unwillingness of having one only one way of seeing things. Yeah, it will change according to the location. It could be, I also did it on top of a shelf, so it occupies like the space of the shelf and around it, but it could be also the whole room, no? Wow. Using the whole room, the ceiling, everything. And I did it in such a way that the viewer can still walk inside and around. Oh, wow. Could enter, so you had to have some places where the person doesn't, hit the strings. No? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, the red is always this sort of like a scream always. For some time I am using these like figurines. They become like a cast. So then I choose them, and it's true that because they don't move or anything artificial. In general, they are there, but it's more the viewer that from one situation construct, the situation, what could happen, or imagine what happened before. And yeah, well, in general, I think my work is tries to be positive or have some kind of hopeful inclination. Yeah. Yeah. The cleaner. Yeah. Well, I did a lot of works that it seems that they are doing certain jobs, but in general, it's like a small figurine doing something that's superior or their possibility. Either there is a big yarn and they have to untangle it, but like when you look at it, it looks like it's impossible, but the person seems to have faith that it will do the job, or that somebody has to a pile of dirt that has to put someplace else, and you see the small one with with a shovel, but uh, but it seems that that person has faith that it could resume the job, no? It's a metaphor of ourselves in front of reality and all the challenges we have in life, starting to understand what are we doing, yeah. Yeah, I did this whole series of force. I continue doing it, that I call forced labor. It's something you must do, like it's a challenge, to complete. Yeah, it's true. I keep my relationship and even show there and everything. Yes, but yeah, I really love to live here in New York, and from the beginning it was always a good experience, because it's a place that really has a lot of stimulus, and also it changes all the time. So I did also some public art places. So the first one I did was in the subway on 50th Street, and the subway number one, I think it is. And they were glass mosaics. And so the subject was Alice in Wonderland at that point, as a metaphor, not illustrating the story, but using her in my situation. Yeah, in Venice was such a great opportunity to make this big installation, and so I use these all kinds of objects that are different in scale, so they are together like figurines that have different scales or objects and everything. And it's the man with the axe. It's a man about 4 inches high that start destroying everything until there is a piano upside down. But at the same time, when you look carefully, there are sub situations. Maybe somebody's cleaning something or painting, uh, and so I think yeah, it's a metaphor of time, could be, and everything stays there in our memory, no? And also like in our memory things that are important or less important, or people from different times could be together, because that's another thing I'm interested in, making simultaneous times that are different. And so that is something that it interests me always. I tried theater. That was the first time I worked with people, and it was very interesting because when I use objects in general, I find them in flea markets, but I don't change them. They are like that and they are perfect. But with the people, they are less, they have less insight, because the people, I have to tell them who they are, how to dress, what to say, the actors. And so it was interesting, that experience, because I realized what was easier to work with objects. Yeah. But it was a great experience to do the theater. It was fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, no. I love always the opportunity to do those. Every time it's like a new experience with a new space, and also who the audience is different in different countries. Normal lighting, and yeah, I mean it's nice. The lighting could be nice in the sense that it creates the shadows of the strings, but I don't like it very theatrical, more natural. I am Liliana Porter, an artist participating in Unseen, an exhibition about women rights. I always say that a work works or is good when it generates thought or generates reflections. Not necessarily that one is giving a message, but more than one is making a situation that triggers thought and yeah, understanding. I think that the work of art is good when it generates reflection. And so, not necessarily that an artist is giving a message, but more is creating a situation that generates thought or generates, yeah, thinking. Well, I always like that the work is very accessible to people and easy to understand. And I think the work is easy to understand because people relate a lot to the scale, also, like right away realize, the small person doing a big task. So you relate to that challenge that we have all the time, no, in life. And so, and to me, it's very important that relationship with the viewer, that is an easy relationship. And I think the simpler I arrive to a solution, to a visual solution, the happier I am. To clean red is the one with the cube. Well, in the clean red, I think there is this woman sweeping the red paint. Right. So red always also relate to blood, or to, and so the idea that she's cleaning is the possibility of, going back and making the place pristine again, no? Or also the power of that person to do it, not to be able to, because to clean also could be to transform some reality into something else. I didn't find a figurine with a woman in the axe. It's very interesting what that subject, because when you look at toys, there are always, like for instance, like women sweep. You don't find a man sweeping in the figurine. The same, the men with the axe, you don't find a woman doing it. But it could have been a woman. I have to put the wig to the figurine. One always has to be open to not only understand but create meaning, because I think that things are not necessarily one way, and that we are the ones who name things. We are the ones responsible a little bit of our reality. So in that sense, I think I am an optimist, so I try to create things in a happier way. No, understanding happiness not as something, like it's not profound, but as the highest challenge, no, to be happy.